Monolithic architecture versus microservices. Hello community! How are you today? I hope you are doing fabulous and welcome to a new episode of Tech for Recruiters. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the monolithic architecture and the microservices. So in previous episodes, we already talked about what an architecture is in software design. So if you haven't seen it, please go to our previous videos and check it out. So the whole idea of this episode is to understand what a monolithic architecture is and what a microservices architecture is. So basically, let's start with the first phase. Phase 1.
Is it too much to ask for both? I humbly present the Jericho.
So to begin with, let's explain what a monolithic architecture is. A monolithic architecture is a default way of building apps or software. Basically, the entire setup is used by traditional server-side systems. The entire system function is based on one app. We can check an example right over here, right now. So basically, as you can see, we have several functions in one single place. This is a monolithic architecture. Everything is sharing the same database, everything is sharing the same server, the same file type, and the same machine. Some advantages of the monolithic architecture basically is that it's simple to deploy. As it's in one place, everything is simpler. Simpler to deploy, it's also simple to develop. As it's default, when you don't have any large system, it's easy to develop. Also, you don't need any API via HTTP API connections to connect with different servers. So basically, it's less complex. On the downside of a monolithic architecture, you will find that actually when you are scaling and the system is growing, you will have a large code base. So this becomes a challenge because as everything is in one place, this can have a domino effect. This domino effect is basically if you make one change, this change may affect the entire application. So it's useful in certain occasions, and then when you are scaling, maybe you will opt for a microservices architecture. What is a microservices architecture? Basically, a microservices architecture, it's a way you will see, again, right over here, an example. Basically, each service is an own app, right? And each service has its own server, and they are connected via APIs. That's the idea. So when your system has a scale and has grown and you have lots of code and you need to make different deployments without affecting the central code base, it's a good option to transition from a monolithic architecture to microservices. This has been doing already by Google, Amazon, Netflix, Global, amongst other companies, and it's a super interesting approach because basically you have more independence. Each service can be deployed independently, also developed independently, and on the downside, it could be too complex. And the testing could be a little bit more complicated than in a monolithic architecture because you have everything in one place. Although it's a great option when you're scaling and you have a lot of services, so you can work with them in an independent way without affecting the central code base. So this is the main difference between a monolithic architecture, monolith, remember one, and microservices, diverse services, decoupled and independent. So community, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe because in this way you are supporting us to keep growing and keep doing this for you. In the next episode, we are going to talk about scaling horizontally and scaling vertically. Also, you have heard about this scaling up or down. So see you in the next episode. Please like, subscribe, and share, and bye!